Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the news. If you didn't hear, Coke is woke. Before we get into it, I'd just like to talk about my personal experience. I've been meaning to make a video about this for a while, but I didn't know how. And after working at Coke for a decent amount of time now, I realized that it's time for me to apologize. And I'm sorry. I understand now that I'm part of the problem. And in the future, I'm going to try to be less white. Coke gets woke. Be less white. Coca Cola addresses backlash for employees' training program confronting racism. One of the most recognizable corporate brands has responded to the backlash over portions of a training program for its employees on the topics of race. Critics have complained that Coca Cola is forcing its workers to be less white, but the soft drink company is pushing back against that narrative. The video circulating on social media is from a publicly available LinkedIn learning series and is not a focus of our company's curriculum. Our Better Together global learning curriculum is part of a learning plan to help build an inclusive workplace. It is comprised of a number of short vignettes, each a few moments long. The training includes access to LinkedIn Learning on a variety of topics, including diversity, equity, and inclusion. We will continue to refine this curriculum. Now, what are these videos Coke is responding to? Well, these clips, of course, confronting racism, understanding what it means to be white, challenging what it means to be racist. To be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain, be less defensive, be less ignorant, be more humble, listen, believe, break with apathy, break with white solidarity. I like how all of these things listed could be attributed to any person or race across the spectrum. Like this list here is just a list of things you should do as a person. Like everyone should just try to be less arrogant, less ignorant, more humble. Listen, but no, these characteristics are unfortunately things that myself and you, a white viewer, do unconsciously all the time. As a white person, by default, you can only be arrogant, ignorant. We don't listen. We're not humble. All we do is oppress. And what do we do? How can we fix this? Certainly by forming a generic list that could fall onto any one person. Like, I don't think this is how you solve racism, by just saying to be less white. Like, can everyone, can we all just follow this list? Is that a possibility? When you wake up in the morning, think to yourself how to be less white. And if at any moment you find yourself not being humble, being a little arrogant, oppressive, yes, because I regularly do my best to oppress people. Before you do any of those things, think to yourself, I'm not going to be white. I am going to be humble. God damn it. This is what I don't understand about this entire mentality that's going on right now with this issue of race. These slides would have made more sense back when the majority of white people were regularly oppressing minorities. But statistically speaking, I mean, really, I don't know what the numbers are, but at this point, we're in 2021. And for the most part, it does seem like we would all like to see change come about. And people are talking about it. People are protesting about it, of all genders and colors. And it seems like the government is listening. Whether or not they're moving fast enough is a whole nother issue, but they're talking about it. And it is a slow start, unfortunately, but things are going to change. And saying things like, try to be less white, seems a little odd. Why would you fight for inclusivity and then alienate another group based on the color of their skin? I don't think you fight racism with racism. I also like how in Coca Cola's speech, somewhere in it, they said, we want a more inclusive work environment. And then this whole slideshow right here is just based on you being white. When they round everyone up, they're like, hey guys, come on, it's diversity training. Everyone's there. And they're like, oh shit, sorry, this meeting's actually just for the white people, because only white people do this thing on a list that actually most people do. It's actually just the definition of being a shitty person. But today we're going to talk about how those characteristics are actually white characteristics. So if you're not white, you can peace out. All right, crackers, diversity training 101. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you middle-class working American who supports Black Lives Matter and has done everything else they can to try and make their voice heard in that issue, you need to try a little harder. You're actually not doing enough. And if I'm being frank, Gary, you're being kind of white. In the US and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior because they are white. Research shows that by age 3 to 4, children understand that it is better to be white. Again, these slides make it sound like we're still living in 50s, 60s America. Before then, when there was legitimately across the board, every white person was racist. It was seen as normal to be racist. Today, clearly, on average, nobody thinks like this. White people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior. Do you remember that lesson in school, guys? Yeah, if you look in history, that's clearly what has happened. Minorities have got beaten down. It's fucked up. It's not good. That needs to change, but to act as though a modern white person still thinks like this is ridiculous. And the people that do think like this are the problem. It's not just every white person. And because that is the goal of these sort of seminars, it's to actually get people who are racist to flip sides, or who are, for some weird reason, it's weird to be racist, but who are on the fence about being racist. I don't know, man. We're just denying that there's racism going on. If you want to fight those people, because obviously racism is just a ridiculous way to think. You are not a smart individual if you are a legitimately racist person. I feel like these really harsh words today just get tossed around like they mean nothing. And that's besides the point of what I was talking about. Let's think about a God-loving country boy, okay, who's casually racist. You want to talk to this guy and figure out why he's racist. Yo, what's your deal, man? And can we fix you? Because this just isn't right. The first thing you say to that man is not try to be less white. A man who believes he is superior and you just go up to him and are like, try to be less white, bro. That's just going to antagonize him. And the easiest way to make a stupid person become even more stupid is to make them angry. And if you know that, why is this the way you go about trying to change their mind? This is an interesting piece of the article. One aspect of the social media controversy that Barensko conveniently gloss over is how Coca Cola has a decided history of having an anti-black agenda beginning about 100 years ago. Coca Cola, which at the time contained cocaine, ultimately removed the narcotic ingredient because, as the New York Times reported, middle-class whites worried that soft drinks were contributing to what they saw as exploding cocaine use among African Americans. Fucking people, man. What a dumb fucking species. However, the Times wrote, Coke's recipe wasn't the only thing influenced by white supremacy. Through the 20s and 30s, it studiously ignored the African American market. Promotional material appeared in segregated locations that served both races, but rarely in those that catered to African Americans alone. In 2012, 16 Black and Hispanic employees at Coca-Cola filed a lawsuit claiming that they have been forced to work under conditions categorized as racially discriminatory and hostile environments. One of the workers claimed she was ridiculed in a derogatory manner and referred to as nappyhead and Aunt Jemima on the work floor without any disciplinary action taken against her verbal abuser. Yeah, that's fucked up. And again, like, because of situations like these is obviously why they're having these sorts of seminars and training. But if a guy who calls a black woman Aunt Jemima, do you really think these slides are going to get that man to listen to you? I also perused Twitter a bit, and the number of God-loving country boys or country girls I was talking about earlier in this video saying, I ain't ever fucking buying Coke again, goddammit. Them motherfuckers, dude, tell me to be less racist. But then they'll openly advocate that companies should just have free reign. They should be able to do whatever they want, say whatever they want. I think a good example of this is Chick-fil-A. And then Coca Cola does it. And they're like, yo, god damn it, I'll eat goddamn Chick-fil-A all motherfucking day. You libtards trying to take away my fucking chicken? You trying to cancel chicken, goddammit? Well, fuck you. Coca Cola trying to be more inclusive and all that shit? Fuck them. Humans are just fucking stupid, bro. It's hilarious. The hypocrisy is everywhere. Coca-Cola fights racism with racism. The racist is okay when companies do what they want when it's in their favor. But when they don't, well, they're never drinking a Coke again. I find this controversy or whatever you want to call it rather funny. I mean, Coca-Cola just got canceled because of their diversity training. Training meant to be more inclusive. And what did it contain? A lot of diversity and a lot of inclusivity. Candace Owens had some things to say about this. If a corporate company sent around a training kit instructing black people how to be less black, the world would implode and lawsuits would follow. While that statement does ring true, I'm kind of tired of that argument. That's what everyone always says to combat these sort of instances. And again, it's a fair point. However, telling people to be less white in comparison to telling someone to be less black is really not that big of a deal. Saying either of those things is wrong, but it's just like, come on, guys. Come on. It is technically racism. But what's more important here? What's more important? Getting all the black people out of jail who shouldn't be in jail? Fixing the problematic police force? You know, things of that nature? I think that's more of the topic of discussion. But seriously, guys, you piece of shit, pale ass motherfucker, I know you're oppressive, bro. I know you're goddamn arrogant, and I know you're ignorant, and don't know what it means to be humble. There you have it, folks. Coke gets woke. If you liked this video, smash that like button, and hit subscribe.